This episode is brought to you by Nana's Deli. Attention food lovers, have you been to Nana's Bistro yet? If not, you are missing out. Nana's Deli has just unveiled their newly renovated dine-in space and it's ready for you to enjoy. The updated menu has all your favorites plus a new star, Food Czar Flats, served with every salad, sandwich, or grill order. But let's not forget the classics that made Nana's famous. Their mouth-watering tuna, legendary sloppy joes, hearty soups, and that unbeatable pastrami sandwich. This is comfort food done right. Got a special occasion? Nana's Bistro is perfect for private events, birthdays, anniversaries, or just because. You name it, they'll make it unforgettable. Since 1981, Nana's has been a tradition, and they're still going strong. And if you're in Jersey City, you already know, Nana's is there too, bringing their signature flavors to your neighborhood. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Nana's, enjoy your favorites, and don't forget those Food Czar Flats. Nana's Deli, serving tradition, flavor, and love since 1981. Mention Food Czar Podcast to receive 10% off your next order. Go to nanasdeli.com for more information. This episode is sponsored by Likeware, the team that created my Food Czar logo and merch. I've worked with them personally, and they made the whole process super easy and professional. Likeware specializes in custom spirit wear and logo wear for schools, events, fundraisers, and even podcasts. They handle everything from design and printing to online stores and fulfillment using top quality brands. They may be based in Delray Beach, Florida, but they ship nationwide and offer free shipping on orders over 50 pieces. Visit likeware.com or email info@likeware.com to get started. Likeware. Wear what you like. Mention Food Czar Podcast to receive a discount on your next order.
This is Behind the Counter.
Beyond the counter.
With the Food Czar. Here's Heidi.
Welcome to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar, which is me, Heidi Blum. I'm so excited about today's because the one thing I've been lacking in my schedule of interviews is strong, powerful women.
Love that.
So today, and this is a long time coming, so I appreciate your time, is I am with, I want to say, a strong, powerful woman, someone who has a cult following, a Bun Cult following, and that would be Nikki Ashkar of Mav's Top Buns. So welcome, Nikki.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I've been following you for a while. You popped up on my algorithm, which is how I find a lot of my places. But there's something that has been so intriguing to me. I love your story, which I think it's on your website. If you Google Nikki, you'll find her story, which I find it's exactly the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now is for someone like you. But to see you and your cute family and to see the following that you've built and then to see, in my opinion, how you manage to weave in who you are authentically, the things you stand for, and being a great role model, not only to your kids, but I think to people who are watching you. That's my impression.
Thank you. No, I'm gonna cry. What an introduction.
Well, do you think am I saying it right?
No, completely. I think that from the beginning, when we started this during COVID, that was it. I was using my social media account as a voice for all the moms that were stuck inside with their kids and not just moms, but parents in general. And so it really spiraled kind of out of control, if you want to talk about rolling out of control.
Yeah. No pun intended.
No pun intended. During COVID. So yeah, I was just kind of ranting and raving on social media, and everyone started to come out to the parking lots when we were dropping our buns. And it was crazy, and it still blows my mind today that we're standing in my retail store.
So Mav's Top Buns is in Middletown, New Jersey, which I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever been to Middletown. It's literally in the middle of down the shore in North Jersey.
Yeah, it's kind of a bubble. I think the community is really strong here. People do show up for small businesses, which I think was a big thing. And my husband actually went to Middletown South. So he grew up here his whole life. So when we moved down here from the city, it wasn't a really big culture shock because I grew up on Long Island in a similar kind of community where it was
Where'd
like
you
a
grow
small
up?
town, Smithtown.
Oh, sure.
On Long Island.
Yeah, that's out there.
It's all the way out there.
Yeah.
So like people on Long Island, like they talk about when you go out to Long Island, you stay there. You're not going back and forth all the time because it's such a far commute. The traffic is insane. So
Especially because you're on the way to the Hamptons too.
Yeah. But I moved all around my whole life. Like I was born in Jersey, in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
And then my parents, like their family grew up on Long Island, like my mom's mom, my dad's mom. So like they moved us all back there.
Right.
My dad got a job in Ireland, so we lived in Dublin for a while. Yeah. So I mean, I think.
How old were you when you lived in Dublin?
6.
Till when?
It was a couple years. It was like kind of an adventure that they wanted to go on, and it was one of those things where, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like it kind of built me to be that type of person where I can make friends with anyone. I could talk to anyone, connect with anyone, because when you move around a lot, you have to be that outgoing person because otherwise people aren't going to come to you. You have to like kind of go to them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So it, like I said, built me to who I am now and who I am today.
So let's talk about how you got to who you are now today.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Buns. Though I will say we have to talk about you and your husband for a second because you just did this really cute post about how you guys met. And I met your husband at a pop-up at the Wing Bar in Jersey City. So shout out to Brian.
Yes, love them.
Love them. And your husband's the cutest, the nicest. And as you said before we hit record, he's so supportive. And I was going to say to you then, I'm going to say it to you now. He was so nice when I was like, where's Nikki? He's like, someone has to watch the kids. I mean, he's just so sweet.
Yeah.
You can't help but love him too. So
yes.
Behind every, the expression's usually behind every good man is a great woman. But I think in your case right now, it's you guys seem to be like, great and great.
Yeah, so we are, I would call us soulmates completely. Like I saw him, so when we worked together in pharmaceutical advertising, it was the first day that he started, the first day that I started, I walked in and I said, I'm going to marry that guy.
Wait, okay, hold on a second. So you go to college where?
So I went to college at Stony Brook University. He went to Penn State.
Okay.
And like everyone in New Jersey.
Like everyone in New Jersey, exactly. Yeah. We are. Yeah, whatever. So, okay, so you guys, then you go on the path. So now you are in pharmaceutical advertising, and he happens to be in pharmaceutical advertising. You meet at the same company?
Yep. So the funny thing about this story, and like there are so many instances of this with Mike and I, like it's just weird, sort of like just divine intervention kind of things. So when I interviewed for the position, I wasn't sure if I used to work in journalism, and I worked for Muscle and Fitness magazine, and I was like a writer at heart and like creative, and I was like, this doesn't seem fun. This doesn't seem like, it seems like something that's too boring for me. So I went into the interview, and I remember looking at the whiteboard behind my interviewers, like, we were just talking, and I look, and there was like a whale, like somebody drew a whale, and it was like the cutest little whale I've ever saw. It had a smiley face. It was just like an adorable whale. I was like, this seems like a fun place to work. Like it seems like they're having a good time.
Yeah, they have a cute whale. Yeah.
So months after I met Mike, which I told you, like I saw him, I knew I wanted to marry him. We became friends, like because I was seeing someone else at the time, and so I saw him, and I'm just like, he's completely my type. Like I just was like, he's forbidden fruit. Like we're just gonna be friends. So we just became friends. We developed like a really good relationship.
Like friendship. The office friendship.
The office friendship, right? Yep. And it allowed us to grow. But then there was one night where we all went out.
You were like Jim and Pam.
Correct.
Okay,
exactly
fine.
like
okay.
that. Yeah. And yes, exactly like that. And there was always this like friendship, this draw to him. So we went out to the bar for happy hour one night, and he was, a little buzzed, and he drew something on a napkin, and I'm like, what is that?
It was the whale. No.
So he drew the whale on the napkin, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is my soulmate. Like he literally is my soulmate. And it sounds ridiculous, but like there were so many times that we've had things like that happen to us. Like when
it's not ridiculous at all.
No, and so I knew from like I had known before that because we were best friends and all this, and I just like knew we were meant to be together. Like he had a lot of things that I was missing, and I had a lot of things that he was missing.
Is the whale with the smiley face his move?
Like, what do you mean? like that's what was gonna draw me to him?
Yes, exactly.
Maybe, yeah. He it's so funny because Mike is he's not a bullshit guy. Like he's not. he's a genuine human being. Like, he doesn't have game. Like, he's all easy on the eyes, super handsome,
He's
nice
adorable.
guy, so cute. But, like, he's never, ever bullshitted me. And, like, as someone, like, I always joke about my astrological sign, Sagittarius. Like, I don't like the bullshit. I like to cut straight to the chase.
Sure.
I'd rather you tell me to my face, like, that, and be honest than, like, go behind my back and completely, you know, like, just lie to me. He never lied to me.
When did you tell him that you said to yourself, I'm going to marry him? It was like, so you were...
We used to joke around about it all the time.
And you're like, don't worry, we're going to get married.
Yeah, and he used to be like, yeah, I know, like, whatever. We used to fight back and forth, like play fight, but he would never allow me to stay mad at him.
Yeah.
Like, if because I was frustrated at him for playing aloof or whatever it was.
Right.
He would come over to my desk and be like, we're not, you know, we have to resolve this. Like, we're not going through this. So, you know, if you saw our wedding vows, you'd be like, this is ridiculous. Like... And then there's another divine thing, which I'll stop going on and on about our crazy love story in a minute. But
you should be proud of it, by the way.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, we before we got married, we actually had a death in our bride's party. Our bridesmaid, one of our bridesmaids, passed away.
Oh my God.
And we, you know, there was a lot of, like, weird mixed emotions. It was literally like a month before we got married. So as we were saying our vows, there's this bird that's, like, sitting right above, you know, as we're saying our vows.
Yeah.
So my officiant goes, we're here to answer love's call. And as she's saying love's call, the bird goes, tweet, tweet. And at the end, after she finishes everything and we were done saying our vows, the bird flies away.
I believe in that stuff. It's like you probably in that moment, and you can tell looking back on it, like, you know you're meant to be.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. And not gonna, like, not to over idealize us, because, like, we are like every other couple, like, we have issues, but it's like we always, like, we're 100% in with each other, always.
Well, I think the difference that sets you apart from a lot of other couples is you're now in business together too.
Yeah.
So I think that's...
And the 3 kids,
I was
like,
going to say,
the pressure.
3 kids, there's a lot going on. So, all right, so let's flash forward to 2020, right? I mean, that's where this sort of all began for you.
Yes.
This new chapter.
Yes.
Which hopefully is going to be a very long one. Okay, so we're in lockdown and COVID, and what happens?
So just to reverse a tiny bit, so in December, it was Maverick's first Christmas.
Okay.
And so
of 2020 or
2019.
Okay.
It was right before the pandemic. But this was when we found my grandmother's cinnamon bun recipe.
So you just like, so were you like a cook, a baker, or anything?
Mike and I both loved to cook and bake.
Yeah.
My grandmother passed away when I was 13, so I would always make her rainbow cookies every year for Christmas, and I would make her Italian cheesecake. That was like the tradition.
Okay.
But she also left me a whole book of recipes.
It's amazing.
So as I was going through them, I'm like, let's make something special for his Christmas, and I'm like, cinnamon buns would be perfect. Like, let's do this. And I had never had, like, her cinnamon buns. Like, it was something that she made, but, like, she lived on Long Island, so I didn't get to see her a lot.
Yeah.
So Mike made the cinnamon buns, and my family came over to have them, and they're like, these are the best things we've ever had. Like, these are the best cinnamon buns we've ever had. Like, my mom, born saleswoman's like, you have to sell these. And I was like...
Was it her mom? Was it...
My dad's mom.
Your dad's mom. Okay.
Yeah. So we were like, you're ridiculous. Like, we just made it once. Like, we're not selling this.
Yeah.
Like, and Mike is very logical. He's like, I know.
We're not doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
like,
fast
who are we
forward-
selling that to? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, how are we going to find someone to sell it to?
Yeah.
So fast forward a few months into the pandemic, and, you know, we kept talking about it back and forth, like, oh, how funny would it be? And I'm like, what if I just, like, put out a post, like, there was a curbside pickup group in Monmouth County where, like, a lot of the small businesses were, you know, saying, come pick up, you know, like, to support everyone in the business so that we weren't all going under during COVID or whatever. At the time, we weren't. We were working our advertising jobs. But I said, you know, would anybody like to buy cinnamon buns? Like, just joking around. And we got, like, 40 people.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you put a picture of the cinnamon bun?
Oh, God, I don't even remember. I think it was just a text
like, who wants
post,
to buy
like, who wants to buy cinnamon buns? And I'm like, they're amazing. They're the best ones you ever had. And, like, whatever. I'm a writer, so, like,
great advertising.
Great
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Mike,
Were We have to make 40 plus buns.
And he was like, are you kidding me? He's like, I made these one time. He's like, are you insane? And I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, just try it. Like, let's just see, like a get to rolling kind of a thing. And he was like, you're crazy.
How far into the pandemic was this? Just because
So the
ingredients were so hard to get too at the time, remember? Like,
yeah. So Maverick's birthday was in February, and then basically the world shut down. I think we officially LLC'd the business in May. So it was like really right in that chunk of like the chaos. But it worked out well for us because we did like pick up out of the parking lot, like in the air, so nobody was like worried about coming indoors anywhere.
Yeah. And were you doing just the one flavor at the time?
Just the one flavor at the time. They were not coming out perfect every time. We had to rent like a kitchen on the weekends because it wasn't legal to bake out of your house at the time.
Unless you had the cottage license.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were like kind of having like holding some ingredients at our house and like prepping. And then we like realized we needed a commercial fridge. So it just like grew slowly.
Yeah. Did the first 40 people buy it? And then did those 40 people reach out and say, when are you selling them again? Like, or are they telling their friends? Does it start creating a buzz in that like group?
Yeah, the social media of it started to take off right after. Like, people would go back to that curbside group, which had like 80,000 members, and they'd be like, Mavs Hot Buns is awesome. And like, before we even started, like, because Mike and I were in advertising, we knew we wanted to build the brand first so that like people could refer back to like, this isn't just Mike and Nikki like making cinnamon buns. Like, that sounds so weird. Like, this is Mavs Hot Buns.
First
and they're
of all,
like, what is that?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant name.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people call it Maves. Like, they think I'm Mave. And I'm like, that's not how you spell Maeve, but whatever.
But if you know Top Gun,
right?
I mean, it's so easy,
yeah.
and even your logo feels like it's like Top Gun-ish.
Yeah. So we also like, because of our connections in advertising, like my friend was an art director, and I was like, what if I pay you a few $100 to like design my logo? Like, it was very janky, but like we built
janky.
Yeah, we built it slowly. Like, it was like literally out of a parking lot. People are like, who is this company? Like, who are these people? Like, we don't know. But it like intrigued people.
Sure.
Because they were like, we don't know what this company is, but people are like lining up down the block. They're posting on, like, it wasn't just Mike and Nikki, you know?
That was, I mean, I think COVID, that's one of the things that came out of COVID is cult followings of certain things, whether it's Your Buns, a sourdough place, like I use Bucky's Pizza. That's like, they're like, you know what I'm saying?
Get there.
Certain places sort of managed to create a buzz during that, and people, because they had nothing else to do, would go and wait in line.
And I think that's one of the things that we wanted to focus on, because when you focus on one specialty product, like, people it increases the intrigue even more, because people are like, it must be good. Like, they've worked on this
right,
like forever.
If they're putting it all in a cinnamon bun, then it must be a good cinnamon bun.
Yeah. And I will say, like, our bakes didn't turn out 100% in the beginning at all. Like, we called it doing bun surgery. Like, there were times where like Mike would burn them because like we weren't using a like commercial oven.
Right.
We were brand new to this. Like, we were trying to make like 20, 30 batches at a time. And it was all a learning process. Like, I would cut the burnt parts off the buns. And thank God, like, cinnamon buns are very forgiving, but like now we have it down to a science. Like, we know the timing, we know everything.
It's your equipment too now. Yeah. So what was the point that you guys said, you know what? Like, we're enjoying this. We love, like, is that what happened? Like, we love doing this. We're enjoying this. This is actually something.
It was pretty much immediate, which
Really?
is like really, it was scary for us, because we always say the business like had a mind of its own before we even were like ready for it.
Yeah.
Like, literally right out the gate, people are like, yes. And this was before, like, a lot of people are doing cinnamon buns now. Like, it's a big thing where everyone's doing flavors, but this was before. This was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So like, we knew that this was coming. We knew that cinnamon buns were going to be a big thing, and like, there was no thing. And like I said, we call ourselves the first viral cinnamon bun shop, because it was like a brand new concept to people.
Yeah.
Like, Cinnabon had stuff and they would top things, but like, we changed these buns from the inside out, like the fillings, the dough sometimes, like, yeah. So Where was I even? I don't even remember where I was talking about.
At what point? But it's
Yeah.
it's so true what you just said is that, if you're someone who's on social media and you like my whole algorithm clearly is food.
Yeah.
Not my whole algorithm. There's also
Yeah.
dogs too, but I have it's majority is food, but
Right.
it's so true. Like you can see the trends of foods that sort of happen on your algorithm. And cinnamon buns is now, it was crumb cakes for a while, coffee cake, crumb cake, whatever you want to call it.
Cupcakes,
Cupcakes, yep.
cookies,
And
yeah.
now it's it's true.
Yeah, but we like to say that because we were like some of the OGs like to come out of this, that we've had so much time to perfect it. Like if you're hopping on a trend, like because you see a trend and
Yeah.
you're not really taking the time to like refine it, like it doesn't hit the same as a place that's been doing it for so long and they've gotten through the hiccups. They've gotten through
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? So
That's interesting.
Take that with what you will.
I want to come back to that for a second,
Yeah.
what you just said. But let's go through, and then we're going to come back to
Sure.
what you said. Okay, so pretty early on, you're like, this sort of took over, and it was like you really didn't have a choice, is what it sounds like.
Yes.
It was saying to you, screaming in your face, this is happening whether you
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there were times that we fought it because, between Mike having his full-time job, like he would work his day,
Yeah.
his crazy pharmaceutical advertising day. I would have the kids. At the time, I think it was just Maverick, but then I got pregnant with Marley pretty quickly after Maverick's first birthday. So I didn't have a lot of downtime. I would make the icing, pregnant, and Mike would, at night, we would do dough together. So it was, our day was
And
just
that's
chaos.
exhausting.
We were so tired at the end of the day. We used to like be delirious, like laughing to each other, like this is insane, like we're not doing this again. But then local businesses started reaching out. We were wholesaling. People were lining down the block in like grocery stores because we were starting to stock like wholesale in grocery stores. We deliver on Thursdays and they'd be like, when can we get more? And we'd be like, holy shit. Like how?
So were you having like, how are people ordering? Is it the same way they do now? Were they
No.
pre-ordering?
Well, yes, but so we joke around. So it was a Google form.
Right.
And so there were times like it would get so big. Like there was a time where I was literally in like a therapy appointment and Mike ran in and he goes, shut off the form, shut off the form.
Oh my God.
Like you're getting like hundreds and hundreds of people like, and we didn't have the capacity.
And then you looked at your therapist and you're like, and this is
And
why
this is
I'm
why
here.
I'm in therapy. Yeah, exactly. No, completely. But it was so funny though, because the trick that we kind of, it wasn't even the trick. It was kind of like keeping our lips tight about how much we could do. So we created that demand because we couldn't do a lot. And honestly, we didn't want to at the time. Like we didn't want to keep going and going and going. Like we would have been burnt out and we would have had to completely quit our jobs. And like we weren't
Sure.
ready. We were taking it slow.
And were you doing only the one flavor still?
I think towards the end of the summer of our first summer, we did a Nutella s'mores, which was still one of my favorites.
I mean, how is that not a favorite? I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
It's still always like one of my tried and true.
So don't you think shutting off a form, when people say we're shutting the form off, it gives more urgency to the order,
Yeah.
especially for the next time.
Yeah, and people would get like mad. Like even now they get mad. Before they used to get really mad. I used to get emails from people being like, how are these so impossible to get? I don't understand. And I'm like, dude, I have a baby at home and like my husband works a full-time job and like it did create that demand. There was a time that we did a pop-up at Oak Hill Farms and we sold out in 20 minutes. There was a line. It was thankfully a nice day in February. Thankfully. Like 75-degree day in February. Like really random. And there was a line all down and there was a guy and he's like literally going, I'll pay you $100. Like he's trying to like
Cut the line, make sure he gets his buns.
Yeah, like he wanted to pay people for like buns because we had to we were like, that's all we have. Sorry guys. And like there were people like writing us bad reviews, blah, blah, blah.
But that creates hype too.
Yeah.
But how did it feel for you to know that your buns were in such demand, that there's a line for people who are waiting for it? How does that feel?
It was like, we're in shock. Like I was so immensely grateful because I knew it wasn't just, I knew it was about the buns. I knew, but it's also about like our family. Like people were very obsessed with like just supporting us. And like even now they are. Like they come out and like maybe, they're trying to save money, but they still come out because they want to support our business and like that and our family.
Yeah.
And, you know, they know that we treat our staff right. They know that we like pay them way above minimum. They know that we like, you know, all my staff has been with us since the beginning pretty much. So like they've also seen the way that we've like just.
It's a family now.
It's a grind. Yeah.
Well, it is definitely a grind. So
Yeah.
so now you have 3 kids.
Yep.
Are both of you, is Mike's not at his full-time job anymore?
Nope. So Mike handles the bakery stuff. I do all the marketing and social media like for it. I don't have any help with that. And then I also have like a marketing writing job that I do on the side as well.
Just
like,
because that's your true passion is writing and stuff? Is that why?
I love writing. It exercises a different part of my brain.
Yeah.
Like I like I can't say too much about like what I'm working on, but it's like a rare kind of a thing. So I'm able to help people in that way as well. And yeah, it's also like, you know, health insurance is very expensive for a family of 5. Like it kind of takes the pressure off of us, like as far as the business goes, to like support everything that like comes to our family and allows us to grow here too.
So at what point did you start doing, because now I think you have, what is it, every week, is it 4 flavors or 6 flavors?
So right now we've actually changed. So we used to do every week.
Yeah.
But I felt like people were coming in, like say we did a banana pudding for 1 week, right? They would come in the next week and be like, where's the banana pudding? And so what we decided to do was like really put our time into like buns of the month. So we're doing buns of the month and we come up with a curated like list of what we want to do. And it's a couple brand new, a couple tried and true, and the OGs, and it's been working so far. Like people are loving it. So
Well, okay. So let's discuss the tried and true.
yeah.
Which are the tried and true flavors?
Yeah. So okay, I will obviously the OG is like going to be
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
cinnamon bun. The end. Yeah.
One of the other favorites is the Marley bun, which is the caramel coffee bun. I named it after Marley when she was like an infant because I needed a lot of coffee to like get through. So I was like, Marley, this is your bun. So Marley is the caramel coffee bun, and that is very tried and true. People love that one too.
That's in my box today, by the
Yes.
way. Yep.
Very good.
The Oreo.
The Oreo
Yep,
is tried
that's in
and
my
true.
box
Like
too.
that's the idea behind Mavs is like to take flavors that you loved as a child and to make them like grown up.
Yeah.
So like every flavor, like people are like, who comes up with the flavors? It's always me and Mike. It's based off of what we like to eat.
So
and like I
birthday
said,
cake. Who doesn't like birthday
cake? Yeah. And so the birthday cake bun was inspired by Milk Bar in the city.
Yeah.
Because they have those birthday cake crumbs. So I wanted to put it on top of a bun with the cake batter cream cheese icing. It's not too sweet. It's not like sickly cake batter flavor. It's like just a light kind of a thing. And people are always shocked when they try it because they're like, it's not too sweet. And that's all of our buns mostly are like that, balanced and not too sweet.
So who comes up with like, I think now you have, what is it, the lavender?
Yeah.
What is it? Lavender
honey. That's
yeah.
like the new flavor. Again, like Mike and I both came up with that. I think that was also inspired by our customers because I'm not a huge lavender person.
Yeah.
But they were begging us to do it. And
Really?
and I tried it and I loved it. Like I felt like I wasn't usually like, it's very light on the lavender. It's not too much,
Yeah.
but we used like a honey butter to kind of like keep it nice and soft, and just a light lavender flavor. It's really springy and really good.
What's your favorite
What's
flavor?
my ultimate?
Yeah.
It's kind of a wild card. I would say my top is the ube coconut.
Oh yeah, I saw that one at the Wing Bar.
Yeah.
That was that time. Yeah.
And that is, love coconut flavors, love
Me
tropical
too.
flavors. Mike and I had our honeymoon in Hawaii.
Oh, so
ube,
Yeah.
and like it brings back a lot of those memories. And I think the ube too does something to the buns that like just makes it a different texture.
what is ube? Is
So
it
it's
a fruit?
It's taro.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually use ube halaya, which is like ube jam on the inside, which
Okay.
we have a lot of Filipino customers, and they come and they say it tastes very authentic. Obviously we're not Filipino, so we don't try to but
Yeah.
people love it.
Yeah.
So, it's really, really good.
So do you, just because like you said with the lavender, you said your customers were asking for it. So do you take a lot of the suggestions from your customers in terms of the flavors, and you're like, a lot of people are asking for this. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can do it.
So we used to do it more than we do now, because
It's
back
hard.
in the day, I still get like tons of recommendations for flavors. And if it rings something in our head and we're like, we like to eat that, like we're definitely going to make that.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like it would sell. But it's worked for us to kind of like lead the charge.
Yeah.
Because you might think you like something, but like if we make it and it doesn't turn out well, like I'm not gonna sell it. Like it has to be like all of our flavors have to be on point, 110%, like the best thing, like the best version of that I will ever have, and then we'll sell it.
So this is what I wanted to go back to that you said earlier.
Yeah.
When you said if you are doing this because you're following a trend and you haven't gone through the hiccups, so what would your advice be for someone who sees your buns and they're like, I feel like I can do that, or they have a product of their own that they feel would be a great product? What would your advice be looking back at your journey to where you are now to someone who was sort of following you and maybe getting inspired by you?
I would always say to build the brand first. Like you have to have a clear vision of who you are, what you want to say as a brand before you start selling.
Yeah.
You know, because like even before we put out that post, we named Babs Top Buns.
Right.
So like people
you weren't changing the brand halfway through.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think, you know, we always led with like our foundations as a business, that we, you know, our family, we're body positive, we are people forward, like, you know, equality and all that good stuff. Like we really tried to push all of that. And I think that's why people call themselves the Bun Cult, which I didn't invent that. Like people started calling themselves that because you're not only behind like a business, like you're behind like people, like, and it's scary because sometimes I will go out to places and people will be like shouting at me from cars.
Yes.
And like, so we really did build that, like people feel like they know us.
So, well, okay. So you do have, I want to say, over 50,000 followers on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. So that's 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, what I said earlier on in the intro, and why I am so intrigued by you and I inspired and all that, is because you sort of don't give an F.
Yeah.
In the sense that, you know, you're not, a lot of people try to stay, I want to say quote unquote, which I'm doing with my fingers, politically correct in terms of protecting their brand, right? Mm-hmm. You don't seem to give an F about that.
No, I don't.
And I think what's amazing is that those 50,000 followers embrace that, or I would say a lot of them do, because they're still with you and they're still buying and all of that. I personally, as a mom, as a woman, all of that, that's what I think is so amazing, because you see a lot of people who sort of aren't authentically themselves, and you see just a brand, and you know that they're, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I love the authenticity and that you are really staying true to who you, Mike, your family, what your foundation actually is. And then there's the buns.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that because I think it's easier to stay quiet.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot easier to not, like when I was a kid, like I feel like my parents, you know, they were proud of my voice, but I think that when you have a business, I've gotten a lot of flack from them, from other people for, you know, talking out of turn, shooting myself in the foot, saying things that maybe were not like something that a business might say because of fear of alienating people.
Yeah.
But I think when you speak up about things that are important to you as a business, the right people come.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
And I think that, you know, we've kind of said, if you don't agree with us, like don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
So
I think actually when I saw Mike, I asked him if you were protesting. That's what I actually asked him. I said, "Where's Nikki?"
Which I always was, and I think that you know, we can find time for things that are important to us.
Yeah.
Which I think we always have, and like Mike and I, even like with our family and stuff, like people are like, "How do you do it all? Like, how do you, you know?" Your kids are always with you. Your kids are on podcast interviews.
Yeah.
Your kids are like, and it's like, because that's important to us. So like the things that are important to me, like I'll always speak up about and I'll always include in my life. And
And remember, your kids are watching.
Yeah.
They're young. I mean, I see it with my kids, and they now are at an age where they follow me on Instagram and they see that I get haters or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they're watching to see how I handle it.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's
does,
really, it's
yeah.
interesting because Marley did the other day, you know, I forget if Maverick said, oh, let's go to Starbucks to get something. And, you know, we have a coffee shop in here, so there's no way I'm going to Starbucks, first of all. But second of all, you know, like, we obviously haven't been going because of the principle of it. And Marley goes, no, we don't go there anymore, Maverick. And she's 4. And it's like, you know, you're right. Like, they do hear it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they understand completely, but they'll always know that their mom was a fighter of, you know, feminism and you know, equality across the board.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's amazing.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. Honestly, I love that. So, all right. So, Mav's Top Buns is now a store in Middletown.
Yep.
And we do pop-ups everywhere, right? Every weekend you're doing a pop-up-ish?
So last week we didn't, but we do, like, actually last week we did at the Fairhaven Farmers Market. We try to, like, go all over the place.
Yep.
Lately with my work being crazy, like, aside from this, like, the Saturdays are, like, the only time that we have as a family. So we've been doing it a little bit less, but throughout the summer, we'll be doing it more. And, come down the shore and see us.
Yeah, just say, people come down the shore.
Yeah.
They're down here. And though I will say I was at 2 of your pop-ups, one being, like I said, the Wing Bar, the other one being Dutch's in Montclair. Shout out to Amir because he's the best.
Madness.
That was crazy.
That was madness. And Amir's the best.
Amir's the best. But the sandwiches that these sandwich shops put together are really quite amazing with the buns. So if you ever see them as a pop-up at a sandwich shop, you have to go because it's really incredible.
Yeah.
So the best way for people who are listening who may not be from Middletown to get a bun, because I'm telling you, for those that are listening that are not near Middletown, you want to get a bun.
Thank you.
Or a box of. But how do they get them? Are we going to be shipping on Goldbelly? Are we going to be shipping on Goldbelly? Is this an exclusive?
Okay, so we're not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to speak anything into existence that isn't there yet.
Sure.
I will say we're having conversations.
Okay. So,
So you
stay
heard it here
tuned.
first.
So, yes. Woo! Yeah. All right, so stay tuned.
And if that doesn't work out with the conversations that I'm having, we will be shipping probably like once or twice a month, like as we can. So like get all your orders in at that point. As far as pre-orders go, you can also do that on our website. We open up pre-orders between Sundays and Mondays.
Yep.
And we have the list of flavors, and then you place your order, and then you can come down and pick it up anytime during store hours on the day that you choose, Saturday or Sunday.
So what's the ultimate goal? Do you have an ultimate goal?
Mike and I were talking about this. Yeah, I don't have an ultimate goal because I feel like I'm always open to possibilities. Like I'm always open to things like coming to us and kind of presenting themselves. And it always has, like when we've like put our faith into like the universe of like, hey, let's just grind and see where we go. Because I think entrepreneurs, like they have that mindset of like, this is where I want to be. But like for us, we've always been, how do I explain this? We've been like in the weeds, right? For the entire time. But the longer you're in the weeds, like eventually you find your way out of like the corn maze or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
So like we just put our head down and we grind and we grind and we grind. And then when things are meant to happen, they will. And like we're going to move forward in some way. But we did talk about yesterday how the dream is to open up like a cafe where people can just hang out, like a local haunt. People can hang out, get coffee, get buns. Like maybe it's a bookstore. Maybe it's like you know, like a witchy kind of vibey place where you can go and just like hang out all day with your buns, with your coffee.
Well, you do sort of. I think you need to give a shout out to the coffee place that's happening here.
Yeah,
so
it's like madness. Reposo Coffee is the best, and we are so blessed to have them in our space. Like it's been a great partnership. So obviously, come down and see Reposo. Come down and grab a coffee, grab buns, and we'll follow us, see where we go.
But is it? Would you say like it's to have more than one store? Would it be to be like I don't know? In I want to say like in supermarkets, and I mean like, do you want to be like a nationwide brand?
Yes, we want to be a nationwide brand, but I don't think that's maybe not supermarkets.
Yeah.
Like we want to have control over like the product we're putting out. And I think, the goal is to definitely expand. And like I said, we've got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff behind, behind the scenes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that you're tight-lipped about it, by the way.
I'll tell you after we shut the
Okay, fine, good. I was like, I'm so curious. I'm not pushing.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's wrap it up, Nikki, shall we?
Sure.
Okay. So, Mav's Top Buns taking over the world.
One bun at a time.
One bun at a time. But honestly, I think you are so refreshing. Like I keep saying, to follow, to watch.
Thank you.
I think you are the real deal. You are genuine. Your husband, your kid, all of it. And I know you're in the weeds, so sometimes it's hard to see that. But as someone who's outside of it, I'm saying to you, please, for the love of God, keep going.
Thank you.
That's what I would say.
No, I needed to hear that today, and I appreciate you. And likewise, like we love following you,
Thank
and
you.
you're such a breath of fresh air and positivity. So
that's because I have no idea what I'm doing. But anyway, keep listening
None of
and
us
watching.
do.
I
Come on.
know. So, Nikki, thank you so much for taking time for me
Thank
today.
you.
It's a Sunday. It's a gorgeous day in New Jersey. It's a perfect day to grab a bun, have a coffee, and have some reflection on the week ahead.
Yep.
Right? So
Right
Mavs,
here.
that's it. So Mavs Top Buns, guys, follow them. I'll put everything in the notes so they know where to follow you and know where to get the
Perfect.
buns. Nikki, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Heidi.
If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.